tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to AFTERBUZZ TV's Total Divas After Show. We are here doing it for Season 3, Episode 6 and 7.
Double dose.
Double dose. Yes, paint the island red and the double cross. We have a really entertaining show tonight because there's so many fun topics and storylines to talk about.
Goodness.
But before we get all into it, overall thoughts, you guys, of this double episode.
It was fantastic. I mean, there was so much going on, so much drama.
Yeah, I mean, we got to just start talking about it. There's
I know.
too much to recap.
I almost forgot our names, so let's say them first. Kaori Takee right here, and then go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Charlotte Broadbent.
I'm Danielle Pascente.
And I am the Walking Dale.
Right, and now we can continue. Charlotte, overall thoughts.
I loved it.
Yeah.
These are my favorite 2 episodes of the whole season.
They're
Yeah.
good.
And
Yeah.
they're both in one day. It was fabulous.
Yeah.
Boom.
TJ and Natty are about to melt down.
Oh, Natty and
Yeah.
TJ's like,
So
whatever, I
awkward.
don't care. Whatever, you want a divorce? Okay, I'll deal with it. It's like, whoa, but we'll get to that.
We'll get to it.
We'll get to that. All right, so first topic, let's talk about the Bellas. In episode 6, we're going to go there first. Bellas catch up with Cena at the very beginning of the episode. The whole entire time, Cena's like, I quoted, "Your dress is very difficult to not look at your breasts."
Well, he's honest.
He is, because that's the first thing I thought when I saw her
me
watching.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All her dresses are like that.
I know.
Yeah.
I feel like he's constantly must just stare at her boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
But I
doing
definitely
all right.
think he does.
It was funny when Brie tried on that dress later on, and it was like not filling up.
They were putting like towels and
my
tissues and stuff. They're like,
So awkward.
none of this looks good. Why are your boobs so small? Like, no, your boobs were small.
Yes.
You know why they're so small.
Yes.
The towels were my favorite. I was like, did they think that was going to look normal? Like
Yeah.
rolling up the towels and stuff.
I was like, come on.
In the middle. Just one big boob.
Is that a wad of hundreds? Or
They
what's
put it in the
going
middle,
on?
like no cleavage needed. So yeah, first they're having, they're catching up with John Cena. There's a hungry man eating with a like,
That poor guy.
oh,
Oh, the poor guy.
yes.
He must have signed a waiver though, because his face was not blurred out.
That's what I was thinking too. He must have been like, that's fine.
After it.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
all by himself, no joke.
He was hungry. That's for
It was
sure.
gross. It was so gross.
But he was enjoying it.
I felt like it could have been a commercial for the restaurant, right?
It could have been.
yeah, I mean-
Listen, maybe that's why he was eating alone.
But did that
Yeah.
really make you guys want to go eat there?
Well, considering I don't know the name of the restaurant.
I was a little hungry. I don't know if it was him or it was just me. I'm not sure.
So the girls are catching up, and then they move on. Go.
Just to say, John kind of sets the tone for this whole episode in a very offhanded line that he throws out. He's like, yeah, what's up? Is Brie mode done with? What are you going to do now? And that
That's
kind of
true.
like
Oh, yeah.
is her whole story this entire episode.
I think that was purpose. Can you guys talk about Brie mode real quick before we talk about Brie mode?
Exactly.
So there is a huge bridal bachelorette/bachelor party gonna happen. So the Bellas go off to celebrate in Curacao with everyone and their men except for Dan and Brian Danielson, and John Cena. So Nikki thinks this is the perfect opportunity for me to get Brie into Brie mode. Of course, Brie mode doesn't exist anymore. She's married, and now all she thinks about is house mode and how she wants to decorate her house and how the walls should be painted. Even during a massage session, she's talking about the
Lord.
house. So what do you guys think about this?
She just wanted her sister's opinion. But it was a little much.
It was a little much.
I get it from both sides. Like, she's got this new house. She's really into it. I've gotten obsessive about every time I move into a new place. I'm like, okay, I got to paint this wall. I got to buy some new accessories for over here, put a shelf up, etc. And that's just an apartment. So I imagine when you buy a place, it's even more. But to Nikki's point, you are on vacation. She's like, you're supposed to like unplug and
Yeah.
we're just supposed
Yeah.
to have fun, especially when she asks her during the massage. She's like, but really, should it hang long like that? She's like, I'm sleeping, you know.
And she's like, shut up, and then she's like, bitch. It's like so ridiculous.
But rightfully so, though. In the middle of a massage,
It was probably at the end of the massage, actually. I'm Team Brie, if you can't tell. I just think that she has a lot on her mind, and so obviously it's coming out like word vomit, but she just wanted to get her sister's opinion, and all her sister is concerned about is, let's drink, let's get Brie mode, and Brie mode's like, I am not that person anymore, so slow down.
Well, basically, Nikki was like, there's a time and place for everything, and when your hubby's not around, it's Brie mode time. I don't care what you feel. I don't care what you want to do, because I'm going to get you drunk. I felt like Nikki was a little pushy.
So pushy.
A little bit.
Super annoying.
I get it.
You should drink this wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she was drunk at that point, though. Let's be honest. Like, we've all been there. But
I would have been like, okay, if you're pouring
you
it,
don't ask
then.
me twice to drink a bottle of wine. But I did think it was kind of, I don't know. Again, to Nikki's point, I'm also Team Nikki, so here we are. But
You mean Team Brie?
No.
Oh, you're Team Nikki?
I mean Team Nikki.
Okay.
I would rather hang out with Nikki if I had the choice.
Why are we sitting together?
You know, it's fine. We're lefties. We're still
You
Team
can't sit
Lefty.
with me.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But it wasn't like we're talking about 5 years ago, guys. It was last season that Brie mode was happening. So for her to be like, I don't do Brie mode anymore. I want to talk about houses and go to sleep
And
at
she
9.
was engaged.
Yeah, I don't know. It
So-
just seems a little kind of quick. So to Nikki's point, it's like, come on. It was 6 months ago.
Okay, playing devil's advocate, Brie must be really stressed out right now.
Must be.
Because, her man's out of commission. She is getting the storyline of her dreams. I forget which episode we talked about. It was in this episode or the next one?
7.
Oh, it's
So,
7.
yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
the last
Okay.
one. This
But she's
storyline.
stressed out because apparently there's money issues and she kind of maybe wants to have a baby eventually soon. So she's trying to get everything together. So things change, maybe substantially quick.
Yeah, maybe.
So
If it was money issues, would you be talking about what you're buying for everything in your house? I don't know.
that's very true. Very
point.
true.
I don't know.
Very valid.
Touche.
And then Nikki confronts her later and says, yo, like, are you trying to avoid Brie mode only because Daniel doesn't like it? And Brie says, no, dude. I'm done with that chapter of my life. And then they come to terms. So do you guys think we'll ever see Brie mode again? I do.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think she has to be in the mood for it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like she doesn't just want to go Brimo because they're in this place. I mean, think about how many times they have parties on this show. I'm sure they make them go out. I'm
Yeah.
sure they supply alcohol. You name it. And so it's like if she doesn't want to drink, I don't know. I get it too. And I'm like obviously big into health and fitness, so I don't like drinking at every social event. If I did that, it just wouldn't work
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So it could be a multiple amount of reasons for her, I think.
They were just in Santa Barbara, not like Cabo or whatever
They
last
were
time.
at Curacao. Isn't that far?
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah,
In
Curacao.
this episode, you were looking at the resort, which was called the Santa Barbara Resort, and I
Resort, okay.
actually was super thrown off by that, but it was a resort.
It was in Curacao.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was super confused too. I was like, wait, where is that?
No, I actually Googled this, and we're all gonna.
We're smart, I
Pause right
swear.
here.
I promise.
I want to say it's in the Philippines area.
Okay, so as far as
so it was
I was
far.
thinking, it's Santa Barbara. That's where you guys went.
Yeah, I got confused.
No, it's
with
not.
the
No.
Cliffs, but
Where
then
is
I
it
don't know.
exactly?
It's in the Southern Caribbean Sea, off the
Okay, yeah.
Venezuelan
Oh,
coast.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
it's
that
pretty
makes sense
exotic.
of why it would take 16 hours. I was thinking 16 hours to get to Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure where they were
How have you
coming
been
from.
getting that?
So it's probably long, because when I actually looked at it on a map, I was thinking they probably had to fly into a different airport and then fly down. to
Probably.
Curacao.
And they lost their some
Oh,
of
yeah,
them
they
lost their
lost their
luggage.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny.
Oh, that was rough, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's like a worst nightmare when you're going on vacation.
I know.
At least it was somewhere hot, not somewhere cold.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Like,
At least
could've
Brie had
was.
her twin sister to share clothes with,
Right.
kind
Yeah.
of.
almost twin.
Almost twin. All right, let's talk about Cameron because she's back and she wrestled, not on NXT, but she actually wrestled on SmackDown. I remember that episode. She was using lip gloss. It was kind of a weird match, but good for her for coming back.
It showed character at least.
Yeah, it did. That is her character.
Yeah.
So we see Vinny, good old Vinny, and he just wants to spend all his time with her. He wants to, build a future with her. she's completely brushing him off every single time. Like, no, let's do this later. I'd rather take a shower than go to dinner with you, get my hair done, than hang out with you. And, you know, he's really trying to just keep it together. Nikki kind of pep talks him at some point. Like,
Which I kind of liked.
Yeah.
That was a good pep talk from her.
yeah, because he does need to step up because he was being walked over.
Yeah.
So they're all on a boat at some point, and Nikki, who happens to be the real estate agent, talks about, oh, well, you guys are interested in getting a house, whatever, and he says, yeah, I'm planning on getting one with Ariane, and Ariane/Cameron says, oh, yeah, that's a little too soon. A little bit too soon for that. And he's done.
So awkward when it's in front of so many people.
I
It's
know.
like,
Yeah.
what happened to like keeping your baggage between like each other? It's like airing your dirty laundry, you know?
Why is he
like,
bringing it
ah.
up? It seems like he was bringing it up for pretty much the first time to the whole group. And so
Yeah.
that puts her in a weird corner, and we already learned, like, season 1 that she doesn't deal well with any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it made her almost react in this sort of yucky kind of way where she was like, well, I don't even know if I'm
No.
ready for getting a house. You know,
Could you imagine being in
Ooh.
there while they're all talking about, no, I don't want the house with you? It's like, whoa.
Yeah, this just got awkward.
Yeah.
It's one of those, where do you look?
Yeah, like, let's check out the starboard.
I thought it was kind of too quick, though, after he gets upset with Cameron/Ariane, that she goes, has dinner with everybody, and she says, you know what? I've decided, but I haven't told you that because it's a surprise, that I have hired Nikki to be my real estate agent. I'm like, what?
It's planned so perfectly for
Yeah.
a reality TV show.
Yeah.
I think too, like part of her was maybe just stressed out at the thought of purchasing a home. Like every time it got brought up this whole episode, including at the beginning, she was like, I'm showering, I'm doing my hair. Like she didn't want to confront the issue. And I'm sure that is such a stressful thing to purchase a home.
And it's at that point in her career where she just took herself down a few pegs. So to say, let's go spend a bunch of money when I just maybe sabotaged my career for In the Ring, I don't know. I think timing could have been a little bit
Yeah.
better on his part
Yeah.
as well.
Hasn't she shown that she hasn't sabotaged her career, though, because she's already on SmackDown?
Right. We don't really know what's going on with that.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, she's coming back.
She's fine.
Yeah.
You.
It seemed like a very quick stint
Exactly.
at NXT.
It didn't seem like that was really.
Did that really
She-
benefit her?
She gets as much time right now as Eva Marie or less, right?
They're about equal, I
Yeah.
would say, yeah.
Yeah. But what I was going to say, and now I completely forgot, but oh yes, now I
Sorry.
remember. No, it's okay. I was going to say that I think it's weird that Cameron is worried about this because I think her issue is more that she's not, and this is reality TV, so it's, you know, not necessarily their real life relationship. I don't know if she's like in love with him, if that makes sense.
Oh, really?
You know? Because it's like, if I was with a man and I wasn't ready, I'd be like, yeah, let's talk about it, but let's not do it yet. You know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah.
she gets scared of everything that makes him show that he's ready to take the next step with her. Like, they got engaged the first season, and then she broke it off, right? And then the next season after that, she couldn't say I love you. It just,
Yeah, there's a lot of red flags.
there's a lot of red flags on her end.
She talked about that dinner or whatever that they had with her mom and him. She kind of revealed that she had a lot of this baggage
Yes,
from
that's true,
previous
too.
relationships. So I don't. It's hard to read where all of this
Yeah.
comes from. So I try not to. I don't know, react too much to it. But she just comes off immature to me. I wouldn't.
That's
I don't
true.
know about the rest of it, but it just seems like this is all fairly new to her or something.
Is she pretty young?
That's true.
She seems young, but I don't
think
know.
she does.
Yeah.
She's like 23, 24.
Oh yeah, that's.
So yeah.
So, okay. I'll look it up, but yeah, I mean, she could be very much in love with him. Who am I to judge, like, you know, like how people express the way they feel about each other?
She does put it out there like that though. Sometimes she,
Like,
leaves,
sometimes,
she
like,
leaves him high and dry, and
a
he's
lot.
just like.
Yeah,
And he's so head over heels.
he is.
Even in this thing, she's like, watch this baby step. Let's take baby steps. He's like, I've been baby stepping the whole time we've been together. I'm gonna baby step. I thought that was great.
She's 26, by the way.
26.
Oh,
Okay.
that's older than I would have expected.
Okay, let's talk about the big issue here is Natty and TJ. So they've been living apart, but since most of the people are going with their significant other, Natty decides, this is a good time for me and TJ to kind of rekindle the flame and see what's happening. A lot of things go wrong here. Just a lot. First of all, we have Eva and Jonathan having sex in the next room. loud as crap,
Lord.
So awkward.
and TJ and her decide to fake it.
Even more awkward.
Even
Double
more.
awkward, yeah.
But triple awkward the moment she's like, let's do it for real. He's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I felt so bad for her because all she wants is to be in a romantic relationship, not in a platonic one. And
She wants to be wooed.
she doesn't feel the affection coming from him. And he's like, guess what? I'm going to take you to a romantic little date, and
What in the cripes?
ostrich farm they go.
The thing is, if she hadn't have had, if they weren't having issues and the way they were, I don't think this would have been that bad. I would have loved to have gone to something like that.
That's
but
true.
Yeah,
the
sure.
fact that they are just so weird and need a lot of therapy and have a lot of issues, this was just strange.
She thought she was getting candlelight something, anything.
She dressed really
100%.
nice.
or a bathing suit something. Or,
She
you know,
dressed so nice.
She
Well,
dressed so nice.
If you go to an exotic location like that, you would think he would stay away from the ostrich farm and towards the water. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
She
I mean,
was-
it's such a random thing.
Yeah, she was so freaked out by the ostriches as
It was
well.
kinda funny.
I mean, it was hilarious for TV, but did he not know that maybe she's not into that kind of stuff?
I don't think
they've
he
been
knows
together,
what she's into.
Been
That's
together
the
for like
sad
12
part.
years or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've known each other 13 years.
And what
Wow.
didn't he get her? Didn't he get her a treadmill or something
yeah,
for her
treadmill
birthday?
for her
And she was
birthday.
super awkward about it. She's like, thanks,
This
TJ.
No,
looks like
wasn't
it's
it
for
like
you.
a thing you turn on? It wasn't a treadmill.
It was-
Or it was like a
Shakes your
gravity
butt or
Yeah, that was
treadmill
it,
or
yeah.
something. Oh, yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
sports equipment that he could use, is
Yeah.
basically what it was.
Yeah.
But you stand on it and it like works your butt, thighs, and abs, I think.
Yeah.
I think
Something
it was a
like
power
that.
play. Yeah, it
Yeah.
vibrates and you can stretch and do different things
I
on it.
just-
Yeah, I remember that.
I feel bad for her because when she kind of confronted him after the farm trip about, I expected a little more romantic, he just kind of scoffs it. Oh, again, like, you don't agree with how I do things or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm
you don't like my
"Whoa."
ideas.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
They're just on totally different pages.
Yeah.
Completely.
to laugh.
he treats her like a dude. I think that's the main problem, and she's very dude-like in a lot of ways. She is one of the boys, right? In a lot of
Right,
ways,
yeah.
but she is a woman at the end of the day, and he doesn't seem to understand what that means to her. To treat her in these very simplistic ways that I feel like if you just read like a top 10 things that women want kind of
Yeah.
book or
Right.
something, 9 of those 10 are in Natty's books.
TJ,
let's-
go read Cosmo.
Let's
Yeah, there you go.
start with sex. If I throw myself on the floor and I say, let's have sex, the man's like, no, I'm cool. I'd be like, what the F?
Yeah, that's bizarre
That's
to me. I'm
weird.
sorry, but like,
It's pretty
that's
shocking.
bizarre.
That's like the biggest
Yeah.
red flag.
It's different if it's a girl. I feel like that sounds bad too, but it's like
Yeah.
we're like, I'm not in the mood or whatever. But
When it's the
like a guy, you just do it. Like,
Yeah.
Well, guys are so horny that
this
it's
is
just
so
like when
awkward.
you don't want to do it, well, what's wrong? Why don't you?
Yeah.
So what is he not attracted to her? Like,
As
It's-
I don't know why I feel like I need to defend this because I agree with all of you. I completely agree with all of you, but also it's not like it was that hot for her to be like, "Why don't you just throw me down and do it?" Like
But for some
they're
guys it
effing
would
next
be.
door. I don't know.
Wouldn't
He
it?
should have.
I agree with you, but he hasn't had sex with her in what? Have they been separated for how long?
I have no idea.
and I feel like
Could
it's
be
longer
months.
than that.
I don't
Yeah.
think it was the separation that was keeping them from doing it.
Yeah. I feel her pain. Natty is
too,
just.
yeah.
And we'll get to more of her in the next episode.
And when you hear other people having sex and then they talk about it at the breakfast the next morning,
oh,
and
gosh.
TJ was like, "What?
what?
Oh God, she tried to skirt around that so quickly too, because she
she
just
did.
went with it when he wasn't there, and
So
then he got
embarrassing.
there.
And he's like, oh, I got you guys gifts.
Yeah, let's get to the gifts.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Well, honorable mentions of this episode was all red, everything red. Everyone was wearing their little red thing.
The
And
red wigs were great.
yeah, and
Those were fun.
I've got to say, Eva Marie has come such a long way from season 1.
Wow,
Just being
She has.
absolutely.
the bitch of the season to just maybe the most normal one, you know?
Oh, I don't know if I'd go that far." But I agree with you. She's come a long
Yeah.
way. And I think the main time I think about it is when she's giving other girls advice. They would
Yeah.
never have taken her advice. They didn't even want to go get drinks with her in the
Yeah.
first season.
Yeah.
And now it's like,
Like Natty's pouring her heart out to her,
Yeah.
everything. Like
Yeah.
she's come I'm happy to see how she turned out. And then there's also a very quick Rosa Mendez where she's like, well, Summer Rae and I are left out. And I'm thinking, Rosa, I don't think you're ever really that left out. Was that just made for this episode because you didn't go to Curacao, you know?
I mean, you just got back like half an hour ago. Chill out. Summer Rae is specifically uninvited,
Yes.
but you just kind of came back around.
As you'll see in the next episode. Anything about this episode before we move on to the next one?
I think everyone looked hot with red hair. So.
Yeah, even the
yeah.
dudes.
Yeah,
they
I think,
did.
minus the
kidding.
guys.
Vinny especially was rocking that
They
red
had
wig.
like both of the clown red hair, the dudes.
Oh yeah,
Funny.
That was so funny.
like $2 afros from Party City.
Yeah.
yeah. But that's what you want. If you're having like a party for yourself, it's so cute that it's just that little something, you know?
Yeah.
That would make Natty die. Like
Yeah.
that type of thing.
Yeah.
If TJ just pulled something out like that, it's like, you're actually paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would melt. It could just be a wig, TJ. TJ, pull it
It's
together.
a wig.
Get a wig or whatever she likes.
All right, so let's talk about this next episode, the double cross.
Wait, I have one more thing
Go
from
ahead.
this episode.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Summer Rae and Rosa. I'm sorry. I just have to talk about that. Summer Rae swoops in on Rosa's guy.
That's the next episode.
That's next.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
That's okay. I know we want to talk about it.
I got really excited.
And we'll get there because that got me seeing red. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
And she does it in the worst way possible. Okay, we're also already talking about it, so let's might as well just talk about it.
Sorry about that.
No,
I
it's
jumped
totally.
again.
She's a
It's
little
totally
snake.
cool.
That little gypsy.
Rosa Mendez first, Natty finds a vibrator while they're driving. That was weird.
It's so weird. They're just making Rosa look be so weird. Like so sexual and so slutty and just like
naked all the time.
yeah.
Will you say
With a-
slutty again?
Slutty.
Slutty.
And the way she wears her shorts and bends over,
Yeah.
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 She's very free.
I feel bad for her because that can't be all they've filmed, but they've cut it to make her
Yeah.
Yeah.
her look like that.
Yeah, they got to come up with something for
Yeah.
everybody, and her thing unfortunately turned out to be
Like over sexual a little bit.
over sexual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to her point, she did say she just used it this morning, so
Yeah.
maybe they're not painting that picture all on their
Yeah.
own.
And she washed it.
So many cringeworthy moments.
Natty actually goes in and turns it off.
I know. Natty's.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Youch.
I like how they're still friends, even though Rosa tried to make out with her. But you know, everything's
though.
fine though.
It's, yeah,
It's cute. Like they're just very different.
it's very
and-
mentor
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
disciple. Yeah.
Rosa Mendez is ready to date. So
Is she?
she wants,
TBD.
she wants to find the one, and she has a list of how this person should be, which I think is a little exaggerated, a little too
A little.
much.
How about a little too much on the first date?
That's the real issue.
Really?
I mean, I guess we're getting there. But
Yeah.
She just lays it all out there. Date number 2. She's like, well, I don't want this or this or this or this or that. And
Yeah.
he's like, check.
Yeah, it's like, I gotta go.
She's like, well, since I admitted that, you know, I don't drink alcohol, he just showed me that he doesn't, I'm ready to, like, take the next step, which is scare him off, is
Yeah.
pretty much
Yeah.
what happened. So she's dating for 2 dates the Cleveland Browns tight end Gary Barnage. I'm not a football fan, but they met through The Miz, which was a nice little mention of The Miz. And he comes to visit them. She comes to visit her and then says hi to Natty and Summer Rae. And Summer's like, oh my God, we play football. I play football too. Whatever. And Summer's a little interested in this guy. And that's, you know, where you're thinking, dude, is she going to swoop in? She's going to swoop in. And
I thought, no way. She was
Yeah.
just having a football conversation.
I thought so too.
That
and
first
then
segment.
they had, you know,
Oh, I didn't even
No.
think twice.
No,
Right?
me either.
Knew it.
I thought it was awful.
and they had the gym session, Rosa and Summer. And she was totally supporting her and everything.
But she
Or
was
planting
being like,
seeds.
Yes.
yeah.
And then in she goes for that swoop. The last one of the last scenes of this episode, Summer Rae goes on a date. Doesn't care
Yeah.
with him.
It's just a no.
I
You
just-
just don't do that.
That's just
You
so
don't.
wrong.
Yeah.
She just does things you shouldn't do all the time. Like every time I see her, I'm just like, go away.
Is it on purpose, though? I feel like she is so specifically slicing people. Like, she tries to find what's going to affect them the most and then just, like,
does it.
goes for it.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because I remember last episode when she didn't get invited to, not last episode, last season, when she didn't get invited to Bree's wedding, she was like, I'm going to turn a new leaf. I'm going to, you know, change for the better. And that did not happen.
No.
That is like the worst thing you can do is
Yeah.
go on a date with someone's crush, let alone behind the person's back. That's even worse.
That introduced you.
Yes.
It'd be different if maybe they didn't know it was happening at the same time or there was something to blame it on, but no. She was like, that's a guy I'm going on a date with.
That's a
She's
guy I like.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
So
guys think
bad.
of him doing it too, though? Don't you think it was kind of messed
Whatever.
You guys are so funny.
Those athletes.
I mean,
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's terrible. Honestly.
but it seemed just, obviously just from eye movement, really. He didn't really talk that much on that second date, but he seemed not into it. And she, like we were saying, she laid it all out there thick.
I think that's what
Yeah.
scared him off.
Definitely.
And but just from the get-go, she's like, I want to get a butt that's like this big, and just like stuff that you just, I don't know, it just felt socially awkward.
Completely. And even on the first date when she's saying, I don't eat cheese. You eat cheese? I don't want to have to wear tights or whatever she said in the ring.
Or let me have a
And
bite
it's-
of your burger
and
and
then-
then takes a bite. Like, ugh.
I
there
wish
were
I
so
didn't
many
have
things wrong.
that. It was just strange. Like, you just don't communicate with somebody like that, especially on a first date. And then the second date was just even weirder.
Unless you know they're comfortable with it.
Yeah.
But she was almost like suffocating him. At least that's the
Yeah.
impression that I got.
think
that
so,
he was
yeah.
just like,
Because he didn't talk a lot. It was
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
her talking, and he's just like,
Yeah.
I wonder how.
taking it all in.
I wonder how his date with Summer Rae went.
Well, Summer Rae, she's a manipulator, so I think that'll be a really good date, probably.
Yeah, it probably will be. I think. What bothered me about that too is like she was talking about. Well, I was on the lingerie football league (LFL) and like I know those chicks are fierce, and I'm not demeaning that, but she was just so comparing it to like his football career, and I'm like,
Right.
they're not comparable.
Yeah.
Like, I get that you have common ground with football, but a lot of girls have common ground with talking about sports.
Yeah.
Like, it was just.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like, well, he played football, and so did I. So I know this is gonna be a great match. I was like, no, girl, no.
And already your friend is after him. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
But I thought it was funny when he said, yeah, you practically don't wear anything. And she was like, yeah, there's no padding.
Right,
I think
yeah.
he was trying to say, it's,
Different.
yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, and it's weird too because she kind of even set it up when they got introduced. She was like, Rose was like, this is my best friend Natty, and this is my friend Summer. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I'm not your best friend. Like, she threw out just a little line there, like, as if they were besties. But then she's going
Yeah.
on a date with this guy.
She's the worst.
Shut
Yeah.
up, bitch. I can't stand her.
I wouldn't be surprised if she
terrible.
came back with that exact reasoning. Like,
Probably.
I felt that
Oh,
since
she
you
probably
called
would.
me not a best friend, that I could go and do this.
You can see it right now. She set her up at the gym. She got her to say, like, you're not really as, like, super into him as maybe you could be. So she can throw that back in her face from the workout. And then she can say, well, we're not even best friends like
She's
I
so
thought we
well.
were.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
well.
she's
Yeah.
really vindictive.
Yep, she's got it worked out.
She is definitely the bitch. And let's talk about Nikki and Cena because they get in a fight. Well, first of all, Nikki has her, first movie premiere. She did all right. She did okay. Her and Brie did okay in the movie.
It's played themselves.
yeah,
as far as I can tell, but
yeah.
What else?
Cena is casted in a Judd Apatow film, and he reveals that he is going to have a sex scene.
He's got 2 big movies coming up. It's pretty awesome.
John Cena, go.
I'm
John
excited
Cena.
to see them.
Yeah.
Tina
He's
Fey-
just
Tina Fey's
raking in the
other one.
money.
Yeah.
And
But Nikki got that
Nikki's
diamond.
loving
on.
it.
Yeah, she's
that's the thing.
She's all right.
She's living the lavish life, but the moment she finds out that he has a sex scene,
brother.
she is not okay with it. Her excuse is, you should have told me as soon as I found, as you knew, so we could have talked it over because I want to be a part of your life and I feel like I'm not involved as much as I should be. And I'm thinking, bullshit. Bullshit. Because she has hidden so many things from him, far worse. And I just thought this whole thing was just ridiculous. What did you guys think of it?
Go ahead.
See, I thought it was ridiculous, but I agree with her. If they want to take the next step in the relationship, they do need to talk about things like that, because a sex scene in a movie, it's like, okay, you probably would want to tell your significant other before a month that, oh yeah, I'm going to be naked with somebody else, making out with them on camera, pretending we're having sex. I don't know. So I kind of saw where she was coming from, but then she's hidden so much from
That's
him
the thing.
that how can she talk?
It was hypocritical, I felt.
Yeah.
On that, I agree. But he also, I don't know, the way he described it was they don't kiss at all. It's a comedic scene at best. It's not like, I don't know.
We'll find out, I guess, when it comes out.
But I mean, it is a Judd Apatow movie. I mean, we know it's a comedic movie in the first place, so maybe he just didn't even think of it as a big deal. But then he kind of set himself up by asking the questions the night before.
Yeah.
Like, would you ever do a sex scene? So,
And I thought that was
don't know.
weird in itself. Because I was sat there thinking, Nikki was like, I don't know, and he had no reaction.
Yeah,
like,
wouldn't that have been the time?
Yeah,
Right.
and
Yeah.
I don't know, would he not have more of an opinion if she was going to do a sex scene?
Well, because I think she was downright, no, I wouldn't do that because this body is for you, kind of thing. He was like, oh shit.
Yeah, he's like, I shouldn't have really gotten into this.
So he decided it was the most appropriate time was in the car while driving. Like, oh, by the way, sex scene. Yeah, that's what's
He
gonna happen.
He should have asked her with the check from the movie, like, would you be okay with a sex
I
scene
know.
now? You know, like, count them zeros, baby.
Would you guys be okay if your significant other?
I was just gonna say that I would be totally fine with it. I think at the end of the day, I'm totally with John. It's business.
Yep.
Like, that is the bottom line. If you love each other and you trust each other, it shouldn't be a big deal. I get the telling before, but I think he would have done it. He just wasn't gonna do it then. I feel
Yeah.
like he was probably gonna do it when he was reading over his lines for the next day, and then he was like, by the way, that here's the situation. I just want you to know, like, what's going on. And he wasn't going to bring it up like 1-2 months prior.
To
Although
some
we
extent,
don't know the timing.
yeah, it's true. Timing can be weird on these things. I think they fudge some of that stuff, but
Yeah.
they are actors to an extent as it is. So
Yeah.
the fact that she would be so surprised by it surprises me. And she seems like somebody who would be so loosey-goosey about it. Like,
Yeah,
when
so
her
down for
reply
it.
was,
She's getting
Yeah.
paid a lot of money. She'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I was
She wouldn't
surprised that
think
she would have a
twice.
problem at all. It seemed more like a Brie thing than it would a Nikki thing.
I think John Cena head on nail when he said it's because you're insecure that you're having a problem
Yeah.
with this.
Done.
Yep.
And he's
Done
just,
and done.
I know I keep like, oh, John Cena, but he's like, he's really good. And at the end, the one thing that upset me was he apologized to her. Why?
Well, he wanted to take her feelings into
Such
consideration.
a good person.
Yeah, he really cares about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He does. And yes, we know he's a pervert, and that's okay with me.
Shoot, I still need to watch that.
Oh, I sent it to you.
Yes.
With
Got
the
it.
Howard Stern interview with John
Oh,
Cena.
right.
Always talking about how he'll do anybody and anything, pretty much. But
I mean,
I'll forward it to you, Charlotte. Have you seen it?
No.
I'll forward it. Because I got it from you.
okay, and I'll put it on YouTube. So check YouTube and comment as well as on iTunes.
when was
And
that from? How long ago was it?
I think it was a couple years ago.
Okay.
Did you see it?
No.
Oh, really? Okay, well, I'll
send it to you, too.
He'll send it to you too.
All right, great.
There we go. Okay, let's talk about the big problem of this episode. Natty and TJ, which has been kind of progressing within this season. Natty and TJ are having a lot of marital problems, and Natty feels alone. That is like the key word that they assess when they go to that one therapy session. But TJ doesn't want him to go to another session. He feels like one's enough. And so Natty goes out, and she gets caught by the paparazzi with Darren Young and says, oh, we're not divorced yet. I don't know where that came out.
Where did that come from?
Why?
Yeah, it was kind of unnecessary.
yeah.
TJ had a point where he's like, they didn't even ask about that.
Yeah.
I'm glad he said that.
Yeah.
Because that was really unnecessary.
Yeah.
When they showed it in the preview, I was like, oh, are they trying to set this up like her and Darren Young are like out in the town together?
Because that's not possible.
Because, yeah, I mean, he's gay. But it was not that at all. She just randomly, like, barked it out. And the guy, and he was like, okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I feel weird. Like, are we seeing the meltdown of their marriage?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it is drama.
Were they ever
I
really
feel-
that into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate this though. I hate seeing like the demise of relationships. It's sad.
It's sad.
It's just, I don't think it's good TV because I don't like watching it because I feel bad. Like, this is their real life, and they're showing it on TV and letting the public into such a private issue.
But it's life too, and I think that
it's commendable that they do that.
Yeah,
too.
it is commendable. And this one isn't as like toxic where one person is really hurting the other, even though TJ inadvertently is hurting her. It's just really sad to watch that they've just genuinely disconnected over the years. Bottom line, like they were best friends, correct, before their relationship, and then they took it to a relationship. Now they're married, and it's just like a best friend situation. Like I still feel like they'd be best friends after this.
I just feel like they kind of just need to find a way to meet halfway. TJ's very adamant about his life choices, and she's very, I need him on the road with me everywhere I go.
Yeah. I feel like as much as he kind of underreacts to everything, she sort of overreacts to everything.
But they have to
it's a very like stagnant, static thing that they have going on. They never hit at the same emotional wavelength at the same time. So it's, I don't know, it's very difficult.
And she was saying, he's better than me. He should be on the road. He deserves this. Kind of making us feel bad for her, feel bad for him. But it was like, I feel like it was a weird manipulation thing to make us think that he should be on the road because he's better than her. Whereas she just wants him on the road to be with her.
I just think she's really trying to save this marriage, so she feels that more hanging out more will maybe save it. But and he's kind of like, dude, honestly, I had a good time when you were gone.
Well, he's just never had a break. I mean, he's been wrestling straight. He never had a big injury before, and this one was almost ended his career. So I think he was just like, you know what, kicking back is okay. You don't have to be in a rush to get me back out there. But I see what she's saying too, just because I feel like she does bring the business home. They said it in this, and I see it on her. When you compare her to all the other girls, she is the most serious wrestler of all the people on this show. A lot of them might be doing it for other reasons. They used to be a model, or they used to be a sports athlete, or they used to do something else. She was raised in the business. Her dad was a wrestler. She went to this place. This is where she met TJ, was in this place that she trained. It was just, she's always been about the business, and I think she doesn't know how to turn that off.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's hard on both of them, because he right now has kind of turned it off.
Yeah.
And he's okay with that.
Yeah. But he's also not really like, he's not really, I guess he is fighting if he goes to the one therapy session with her, but he's not fighting hard for the relationship as much as she would like to see.
He just doesn't get it.
He doesn't get it.
He doesn't get
it.
He doesn't get it.
It being any of the relationships.
Which is sad. And it's a pattern since the first season. I mean, it's always been weird. She went on the date with that dude.
And the guy wasn't the guy there at the wedding or the night before the wedding. And it was like, so it's always been strange.
I just don't, I think maybe TJ never figured out how to treat her like his girl.
Yeah.
But I guess you wonder if they ever had like a honeymoon phase, or that phase where they were like super physically very in love. Like, right at the beginning of relationships when it's fiery, you're into it, and like you wonder if they ever had that, because if they didn't, this would make 100 times more sense. Like, they never had it. They never will. Like, stop trying to push something that's not there.
If they were okay with that, it would be fine.
And you would think they would. If they marry each other, you would think it wasn't a big enough deal.
Yeah, you were saying, I've got you at 90% or whatever, and that is A-okay by me.
And that's fine,
But I just think something's changed.
Yeah, I agree. And she even said that the sex therapist has scarred him. I wonder what that meant.
Yeah, I don't know.
Did that change their bedroom life for the negative? Because it definitely wasn't supposed to do that.
I just don't think it changed it for the positive.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's going on.
Well, we're probably going to see more, but I was like just shocked by how nonchalant TJ was. So granted, he must have been a little pissed when he's like, well, if you want a divorce, then I'll just deal with it. I was like, what? Like,
I want to make you happy. If that's a divorce, then fine.
Well, why don't you, if you want to make her happy, then listen to her.
Yeah.
You know? She says no ostrich farm. Don't take her to an ostrich farm.
Do dinner and wrestle her to the bed. That's what she wants.
She says, let's have sex. Get in there. You know?
Figure it out. Like, for 2 seasons, she's been wanting to have sex. So you wonder, like, is it happening? Like, what's going on?
Doesn't even have to be good, TJ. Just make it happen.
Yes. Very, very true. Honorable mentions of this episode, we saw Ryan Katz in there. That was kind of
Smiley.
cool.
What's up, Smiley?
And I think there was a Cesaro sighting.
There might have been in the ring
really quick.
real quick.
And let's talk about some predictions. There was no news and gossip, really.
Yeah, not really.
I was looking, I was like,
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions.
okay. You guys,
Are these Halloween predictions?
I think Summer, I know, right? I think Summer is a bitch, and she will be a bitch in the future.
That's a good prediction.
She's gonna be hated by everybody.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I think not Eva Marie, Rosa Mendez is definitely gonna
Oh,
tell
she looks
people.
like she's about to explode.
Yeah.
And maybe go back to drinking.
I
She
hope
mentions about that
not.
in this episode. Like, I don't want to date guys because that could be my trigger. It's
That's-
like, well, certainly we're not going to record her breaking her rehab and having her
Right.
trigger,
Yeah.
right?
That's the one thing I'm like,
Right.
do not do that on a reality
Please don't do
show.
that.
Yeah.
Like, just don't do that,
so
please.
sad.
Like, it would suck. And then, apparently Daniel and Brie get a joint bank account, and you're thinking, wouldn't they have had that before?
Maybe not.
Things are
it's
different now.
different now. Yeah.
Oh.
We're so on the same wavelength today.
Besides the Nikki Brie thing, we
lefties.
lefties are together. Right brains.
Yeah. I'm like,
What do you know about that?
oh my gosh. Any other predictions, guys?
I'm really excited to see this road trip. Eva Marie, Cameron, Vinny, and Jonathan travel back to, or she's moving back to California, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be shenanigans, I feel, and I will like it.
I love that Eva Marie and Cameron / Ariana are getting along now. When last year Ariana was like, "Oh, I got some nasty shots of Eva Marie."
Yes.
Yeah, quite
They
a
really
difference.
moved past that.
Yeah. I like them
did-
together.
Yeah.
I do.
They seem like they vibe well.
Even though Cameron's like the crazy one, which is crazy, and Eva Marie's the sane one.
Yeah, that switched real quick. But more Vinny, I'm into that.
I love
Yeah, I
Vinny.
love Vinny.
We've been very Vinny shy this season.
And he's
We've
got a
been
big
really-
beard going on.
Trinity and John, like, we've been shy of them this entire season. It really is bothering me. I want them to come.
I think I get mixed up with the timeline. She's all chipped up. I think I get messed up with the timelines, but I think this right now is when he's the tag team champion with his brother. So he's on the
okay.
road a lot more and doing a lot more shows. So
Okay,
maybe
that
he just
makes
wasn't
sense.
around. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We did see her real quick having a conversation with Natty, and even she was like, "Oh God, Natty, you need to."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was an awkward encounter. Natty was kind of stood there waiting for her to get up and hug her, and she never did. Did you guys catch that?
I did
I didn't
not.
catch that. Now I want to go.
Yeah.
Now I gotta go back.
Natty was like stood at the table at the side of the table that Trinity was sat at, the booth, and Trinity just kind of, hey. And
Natty?
and she didn't stand up to like hug her. I was like,
And was she crying at that point?
no, it was just
Okay.
like when she first came in. But
Oh,
it
for
was
that
just like
lunch or
a
whatever?
weird, yeah.
Yeah,
It was just
yeah,
a
yeah.
weird.
And then she tried on her
Hello.
sunglasses and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I was like, do you guys not hug?
That would be so messed up if she was crying and Trinity's like, "Go sit down."
That's what I was thinking, and I was like, that's weird.
All right, guys. So next week there's another double episode. I won't be here.
Which has got me worried.
But
We
you
should
guys
talk
will be
about
here.
that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be here.
I'm gonna miss you guys. But in the meantime, where can everyone follow you guys?
Oh, you can follow me on Twitter at Danielle Elise P and on Instagram at Danielle Pascente.
I am The Walking Dale on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me cooking up some delicious recipes on youtube.com/dishing on movies.
Yeah.
When are you going to bring those in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, bring it in 2 weeks, okay?
Yeah, 2 weeks. I'll wait.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CharlotteB_TV.
And you can find me at KAORIOUS Twitter and Instagram, and follow the whole entire team of AfterBuzz TV at AfterBuzz TV, and we'll catch you guys next week for another show.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Oh, bye. See you later.
See you later.
I was like, wait.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.